Howdy, hey, hello, it's McKenna and welcome to Munch and Mingle. Currently, it is about almost 6:30 a.m. this morning. I am recording the day this episode is going out. It's been a little bit of a crazy week, and we are leaving to go to New Mexico this morning for BYU's bowl game, which is awesome. So much fun. But because of that, we have been busy all week. And I thought I was like so much ahead that I was like, oh yeah, I'll be able to record this episode before. Nope, definitely was not. Life gets a little bit crazier and hectic, especially when you have kids. So currently, the boys are at my dad and stepmom's. They are going to be watching them while we go to the game, which is so great. Thank you to them. We went and dropped them off last night and we put them to bed, and I was doing pretty good. I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm feeling good. I'm excited. And then we got in the car to leave and it hit me. I was so sad. And that's, any mother knows that, especially when you've got babies. It's so good. They need to be there. They would not have a good time in New Mexico. It would be too hectic. And you know, I was so grateful for my dad and stepmom to offer this, because Britton and I really haven't been able to have a trip where, one, there wasn't a kid, or two, I wasn't pregnant. We did at the beginning of the year go to a football camp, and Baker stayed with my dad and stepmom then, but I was pregnant with Bo. So yeah, as we all know, vacation is great, but especially when you're pregnant, oh yeah. So we knew we needed this. Probably down the road, this isn't going to happen for a while, and that's okay. But even though this is still technically a business trip, we are going for football. It is time that me and Britton get to spend together, and I'm very excited. It's very needed. So I wiped away the tears, and we're going to be okay. Alrighty. Before we start off, of course, our munchie is today was actually a Christmas gift from none other than Amelia Edwards. You all know her. You love her. Her annual Christmas gift showed up on my doorstep yesterday, which is hilariously chip cookies. And they're not the baked, it's the cookie dough. So you come and bake them. Oh, it's great. Even Britton was like, can we pop these open right now? Like, we got home late last night and I was like, no, we're going to save them. But yeah, now for this moment. So thank you, Amelia. Also, funny enough, Amelia's going to be in New Mexico this week at the bowl game. So we found that out and I'm pretty pumped. She's showing up on the day as a +1 to her brother, because apparently that was their Christmas gift, her brother's Christmas gift from work. I'm like, okay, cool, boss. They're flying out everyone to New Mexico. So yes, very excited. So I get to see her this weekend. Alrighty, really quickly, I know we're going to go talk about the service project and everything that kind of led up to that. So I'm hoping we can get through it fast, because I just got out of the shower, so I still need to get ready to go. But I just wanted to check in. First things first, I've had a very big noticing. Is that the right word to say? How's your seasonal depression going? If you're in Utah, we have been getting snow upon snow. Like yesterday, it snowed all day. Like all day. It just did not stop snowing. And it's super pretty. And I just wanted to check in, because I know I've had a couple of friends, couple of family members who've been feeling it. But I want to direct you back to episode 28, 2 episodes ago, about Huga. You guys, I'm not going to lie. I think I had one day that I was pretty down in the dumps. I think it was about last week. However, I've been okay. Like, I saw the snow yesterday and I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. And I mean, I just dropped the boys off last night, so I really thought it was going to like counteract it. Like, oh no, on top of that. But I've been okay. Like right now I've got my Christmas lights up. I've got candles going, because it's still early. So it's all feeling comfy cozy. I've got my slippers on, my fuzzy blanket. Like, I'm feeling good. So this is just a reminder to you, if you're feeling it, go check out that episode. I mean, yes, it's totally a shameless plug for me, or go look up Huga. But I just kind of give a quick rundown on how I really feel like it's going to help this year, because you guys, obviously Christmas is coming up, so that's going to help lighten the mood. But then January is going to hit. And I'll come back in January. I'll let you know how I'm doing. But right now, we're feeling good. Also, cool little experience. I can't really go too much into it. It was more of a special moment for me. But let's just say I had a really cool experience this week that I was reminded how great Heavenly Father is. And I just want to reiterate that to you, how great Heavenly Father is. How great God is. And just take that today in whatever you're going through and just remember that, because He really is so great. And with that comes so much love. He's great and He loves you. Okay, let's dive in. Real quickly, as hopefully most of you know, I had a service project that I came out and started talking about, I think it was around the end of September, and we were able to complete it and drop it off. So I wanted to go over what's happened these past about 2.5 months. Because putting together a service project of any sort is crazy, difficult, totally rewarding, is the most amazing feeling you can get in the world. But it also, comes with so many other feelings. So I wanted to talk about it. It's the first time I've ever done this. But for anyone out there who's maybe been thinking, if you have an idea or something that you feel can support or bless others, I want to just say, here's how it went for me. And hopefully it goes much better for you, and that you don't get all the crazy emotions that I got with it. But I guess that's life. So you always come out on the other end, right? Okay, so just for anyone that didn't know, I did talk about this in my episode, The Birth Story. That was a part of my baby week. And I go into my story of everything that happened with Bo. But at the end of that episode, that's kind of explains why I wanted to start this service project. But quick recap, I had just had an emergency C-section. I was currently in an isolated hospital room because apparently I tested positive for COVID, never felt any symptoms. So because of that, though, I was in an isolated room. They had to totally suit up anytime nurses or doctors came in. It was a whole ordeal. It was very, very taxing. I had just had this C-section. I'm alone. Britton couldn't be there. So what led up to, and having this huge surgery. I've never had a major surgery like that before. Recovery from a C-section is hard. Recovery from an emergency C-section is brutal. So I was feeling a lot of emotions and a lot of pain. And it came to the day, finally, I think it was day 2. Maybe, I don't know. Cause I knew I had to take a shower, but it was they were waiting longer because obviously I had this wound, this scar. But anyway, it had finally come to the time. So because I didn't have a hospital bag at all, Britton had one shot to basically go get what I needed and come and drop it off at the hospital. And we were on the phone, but of course, everything had just happened. I'm coming off of, having this baby. My baby's in the NICU. All these hormones are going through. I'm trying to remember, hey, grab this. And as you guys will soon know, I am a very big beauty product guru. So I've got systems, okay, when it comes to hair care, skin care, body care, all that. So it's a big deal. So I'm going through the list and I thought I did pretty good. So I go to get ready for my shower, and it was a very needed moment. That day we were going swimming and I had told myself, oh, we're going to go get in the pool. So I'm going to obviously shower after then. Didn't, because then I'm getting wheeled off to the hospital, go through the whole emergency C-section and don't shower. It must have been 4 days, 3 days. I don't know. I hadn't showered and I felt like I need this moment. Even when you just have a normal vaginal birth, normal delivery, everyone will tell you that first shower is it's so needed. So I was feeling that. I knew, I was like, I need the shower. So I'm getting all my stuff and I noticed, oh shoot, I'm getting out of the shower. I don't have deodorant and I don't have face lotion. So I was like, okay, I'll just be sure to ask the nurse. Now, the deodorant, I was like, okay, I just washed my body. So, well, all right. If they don't have that, whatever. But the face lotion, you guys, my skin is after I get in the shower, get out of the pool, whenever I get out of water, it is so dry. So dry. It is a cardinal sin in my book to not put on moisturizer because my face hurts. It gets tight. It feels dry. Like I need moisturizer. That's also why I'm a big advocate for baby oil for your body after you get out of the shower, because my skin just sucks up all the moisture. So I have to like double add on to it. So I was like, okay, I really got to get some face moisturizer. So the nurse came in. And I was just saying, hey, do you have deodorant or face lotion? And she kind of just looked at me and she's like, I don't know. Let me go look. And I just was like, what? Okay. So she comes back. She had one of those like old roll-on deodorants. And she even said, I don't know how old this is. And at that point I was like, I mean, okay, I'll take it. But she's like, we don't have face lotion. It's like sirens went off in my head. I was like, you don't have face lotion. And I know, you guys, I know this sounds first world problems. However, but if I could have had any, like face lotion is the top priority. I would have given it over a lot of other things. So it just was like, what? And she's like, well, I found this hand lotion. Now, again, because I'm such into beauty, it was like, hand lotion. I don't know how my skin's going to react to that. I have skin that breaks out very easily to any foreign things that are not supposed to be put on the face. So I was like, you know what, at this point, we're just going to have to use it. And it was an older, like I hadn't heard of the brand. It was a no-name brand, but I was like, okay, obviously, yeah, I'm going to use it. And it burned my face so bad. I mean, I think it was super tight, super dry. And then this lotion just wasn't, it's not a facial lotion. And to any guy out there who's like, this is so ridiculous, because Britton has definitely even admitted he has even more sensitive skin than I do. And so I've been like, here's your face lotion. And even he's like, yeah, okay, I totally understand. I understand it on a deeper level now. But anyway, so this whole thing, so I'm sitting in my bed, my face is burning, and I'm just like, really? Everything that has just happened, like this was my one thing. And it just hit me in a way that I was like, wow, I cannot believe like they don't have these things. And I was talking to that same nurse. I was like, I'm really shocked that people haven't donated these things. And I just figured, like, even the deodorant, do you guys really not have this? And she said, you would be shocked. Like, so many people do think that we have those, but we don't. That's just not something that's donated. And I remember telling her, well, I'm going to take care of that. And I don't know if it was just because I was so fueled by like my face on fire that I was like, I can't let this happen to any other woman. That is what fueled me. But I was like, I'm going to do it. Went home after everything, obviously was recovering, going through all that. It went on the back burner. But then it was reignited when my friend Carolyn who lives in Iowa. She had to have her appendix burst, so she was in the hospital. They were still under COVID protocols, even though she didn't have COVID. But her husband Caleb couldn't come to the hospital either, so she was there recovering, and she had nothing. She didn't have anything. And I remember I was FaceTiming her, and she's like, I need a brush. I don't have anything to brush my hair. I've gone through the surgery. And she has long hair, you guys, long, thick hair. And we were talking, and it all of a sudden sparked my mind. I was like, wait a minute. That's what I was going to do. I wanted to create kits. And I remember telling her, I was like, that's so funny that you were saying this. I mean, hello, sorry. I wish I had the kit for you right now. But I remember telling her my idea, and she was the one who was like, oh, McKenna, you have to do this. You need to do this. And she was like, I need to do this in my state now because it's so needed. So that is what it was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm going to do this. So I started writing out, all McKenna planner fashion. What do I want in the kits? I knew face wash, face lotion. That was a big one. Shampoos and conditioners. Cause in my hospital, they only had like the one soap pump, which I believe is just body wash. Might even just be hand soap. But anyway, so it was like, okay, shampoo and conditioner, of course, a brush. Thank you. That was towards Carolyn. Deodorant, hair ties. And then why do I feel like I'm forgetting everything? Is that I think that's everything. Toothbrush and toothpaste. And then have it all together in a bag. So I started, and I had other items, but I would take them away, like I was like, maybe they need a razor, but you can't really bring those into hospitals. Makes sense. So, I started looking up on Amazon, like, okay, or Walmart and Target, what do these items cost separately, or what can I get them in bulk? And then I would start like tallying up all the numbers and how much money am I going to need and how many kits do I want? And that's kind of what forged my number of kits that I wanted, but also like, okay, the definite things I'm going to have in it. So I came up with the goal of 150 of these toiletry kits with those items. And I then presented it to Britton. Britton is my confidant. I go to him for everything, of course, just to be like, am I crazy? Am I thinking too out of the box? Is this too much? You guys, from the moment I first talked about this, because I talked about it when I came home from the hospital, but even to this moment now, as I like came with the plan and said, I'm gonna try to put this together. Any little extra money can we have try to go to this cause, but I'll also try to have, people help. He has never wavered. He has always been 100% support, and you need to do this. You have to do this. And I'm so grateful for him. You guys already know that. You know how much I love him. But especially in this moment where it was something I've never done, I was going to have to be recruiting other people to help me with this thing that impacted me so much. But he was always 100% from the beginning. So, I love you, Britt. Okay, so now that I had Britt on board, I was like, okay, next I got to recruit the families, got to recruit the Hogan side and the Christensen side. So I sent out group chats and I just basically said, here's what I'm doing. I need your guys' help. And it was so great. You guys know my little sister, she has a cookie dough business. Listen to her episode. She's the cutest. She's homeschooled and she's normal. She has a cookie dough business. She's like, I'll give you proceeds from every purchase. I have a sister-in-law who does high fit. She's like, oh, I'll do this. I had family who were like going to go support that or donate. It was just a family. They're great. So that was where I started first. And then I took to social media and I hit that ground running. I put it out in my podcast episode. I started sending out, I had made a little graphic, started posting it everywhere, sending it to people. And it started working. People were coming to donate things or would Venmo me and I would start going to grab items. And I quickly started realizing for some reason that the hardest items to get were face wash and face lotion. And I think this impacted me so much because, like I said, skincare guru. And that was like a big thing. The face moisturizer was the number one thing that started this whole thing. But of course, I had to have face wash with it too. It was just amazing to me how little options there were, because I was always in the trial and travel size, Target, Walmart, wherever, and I could never find face wash or face lotion. And I was just like, we have 5 different shampoos and conditioners, 3 different toothpastes and toothbrushes, body washes, all these different things, but no face wash and no face lotion. So I went over to I would go to the actual skincare aisles. And that's where I started to find the CeraVe, the Cetaphil, the mini ones. But you guys, those are almost $4 each for these bottles. And don't get me wrong, they're great. I totally understand that. But I'm like, at this point, you might as well just be buying the big ones, which, guys, I did think about that. Should I just buy the big bottles and put them into little, what is it? Those little travel cases, right? But I had talked, I guess I got to talk about that. I had talked to the volunteer service head lady at the hospital, and she's like, we do need to have anything it's got to be packaged. You can't package it yourself, which I totally get. Safety. I get it. That was a part I forgot. If you're ever wanting to do a service project that involves bringing or donating things to a hospital, they have what's called volunteer services. And that's who kind of handle everything. So I had called her once I had decided we were going to do this. I went over my idea. That's when she had kind of explained things I could or couldn't bring, but everything that I had planned to bring was all cleared off, checked off, good to go. And she just said, however long it takes you, it's all good. Just give us at least 24 hours notice before you come and drop them off. So that was where it was. Anyway, so again, I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just have to start buying, the face wash and face lotion. Then one day I was on Target pickup, because I do that a lot, you guys. And I was like, I'm just going to look. To this day, I am not joking, I have not been able to find face wash or face lotion in the trial travel sizes at my Target. Yet, when I do it on Target pickup, it's there. It only lets me buy a total of 10 face washes and 5 face lotions in one transaction. But it's there. I even went again right as I was finishing this project, because I had to go pick up couple tubes of toothpaste, and I couldn't find it. I was like, I don't know where it is, but it says it's here. So I started going through that avenue. I found that Target had Pond's face wash, and I've used it before, and I'm like, okay, that's good. And then they had the Nivea face cream. You guys, that face cream is thick. And I remember I got it once. It was when Britton and I were engaged, and I would be going to stay at his house, which sounds really bad. You guys, don't worry. It was all chaperoned. We were never in the same room, never on the same floor. But anyway, so I had a kit when I would go to stay at his house over the weekends, and I found that face wash, and I was like, this is insane. But I used it, and it works. It says it's for your face, hand, and body, but I used a lot of Nivea cream when I was in New Zealand on my mission. Like, it's huge over there. So I was already familiar with the brand, and so I started using it, and my face never broke out. It was totally moisturized. So when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I know that one specifically. I've used Pond's in the past. So that became my go-to. Because the Cetaphil CeraVe was so expensive, I started telling people, if you see Pond's, if you see the Nivea, grab them. So all was figuring this out. Like I said, I felt like I hit the ground running. And then we got to the end of October, Halloween hits. We get into November. We're planning for Thanksgiving. All this can happen. And I lost the mojo. I lost the fuel, the fire a little bit, because just life happened. And of course, just as naturally, I stopped talking about it as much. I wasn't seeing, people donating, or I was having to pull more out of our own funds than I was, just a month ago. And that was fine. I knew that I was like, I can't rely solely on other people. So I was just like, this is just normal. But we got to the end of November, and I was looking, you guys, because it's about 6 items in each bag. I think we had enough to make completely, because I had some items more than the others. I think we had about enough to make 20 full kits, and my goal had been 150, and I was so discouraged. Oh, I was so sad. I was like, this is all I'm gonna get. Where my goal had been at the beginning of December to go and drop these kits off, and I had maybe 20, and I had to keep telling myself it's fine. Any kit is good, but it was just so hard, because I'm like, I feel like there's more than 20 people who need this, So with that doubt, I was bringing more negativity into my life, because it's just all I could think about. And I felt like I was hearing more comments like, you know what, you've taken too much on, McKenna. You're a busy mom. Don't worry about it. And you don't need to worry, because the hospital has access to these things from other people. And yet that is kind of what ignited me, because I was like, well, if other people were doing it, why was I in the hospital this year? And I didn't even have access to deodorant, but especially face lotion. And it just kind of finally something hit me, and I was like, no, I'm not going to go down without a fight. So I took to social media once again, and I decided for the first time to do a live. I've never done a live, and it was very terrifying, because I'm like, there could be people watching me real time. So I made sure to do it really early in the morning, because I was like, I have to be able to delete it if it's terrible. So I did it on the Munch and Mingle Instagram first. And I basically said, look, we are coming down to the end of the wire, and I need your help. I need you to get the word out. Start going through your drawers, your bathroom drawers, your closets, see if you've got anything laying around extra. We're now done with Thanksgiving. We're getting into the Christmas season. Let's start it off, get that spirit going. And just talked about like the things we had and what we still needed. And then I ended it and I posted it. And then I I was like, okay, it's there. We're good. But then I had this feeling, okay, I need to go on my personal Instagram, and it's private, so I really only have like people that I really know on there. Yeah, I still felt embarrassed. It's so weird because I'm like, these are all my close friends and family. But I still was like, okay, here we go. I need to go do it on there. So I go and do another live. And I even said, look, I just made this same live on my Munch and Mingle Instagram, which a lot of you follow. Thank you. But I need to come to you personally, my close friends and family. Please help me. And I kept using the term turn and burn. I think I love that term. Whenever I can use it, I'm going to use it. And that's basically what I said. It is time to turn and burn. I've got a week. Please help me. Please come together with me on this for this cause. You guys, within 5 days, I mean, even that day I posted alone, I got a lot of people messaging me, people dropping things off. But within 5 days, I had either raised enough money, through Venmo, or was donated enough items that we had hit my goal of 150. And it was amazing. I was so blown away. Like, where did this come from? But whatever it was, thank you. Just thank you. Thank you to all of you. You know who you are, who have helped me hit this goal. I was just best feeling ever. So it got very busy, because if people had Venmo'd me, I was like, okay, I got to get out. So I was getting all these orders. Britton's grandma me, she became my co-planner with this, which is great because that is what we bond on. We are planners. So she just hiked on with me and we were like, okay, what'd you find here? What'd you find this? Dollar Tree had no idea, you guys. I was so mad. I'm like, I have been scrambling for months. They sell the Pond's and the Nivea for 4 cents cheaper than Target. I was so mad. I was like, are you kidding me? And they had galore and I could find it. I would clear the shelf. So within those 5 days, I was going to so many Dollar Trees. Grandma me was on toothpaste and toothbrush duty. So she was clearing their shelves for that. I was going for the face lotions. Yeah, it was hilarious. But when the day came to assemble them, we went to Britton's parents just because they have more room. And I enlisted Britton's mom. She was going to help me pack the kits. And so we got them all set out. I made a reel for it that kind of just shows up. But we were on their big dining table and I just had boxes. And we made kind of like a conveyor belt. And we had gotten these bags. Oh my gosh, by the way, sorry, side note about the bags. I had started out saying, well, let's get Ipsy bags. But I realized Ipsy bags were too small. So then I started going to Walmart and I found makeup travel cases. They were at least $6 each. And I'm like, this is going to add up way too much. $6 is too much. So then I had my friend, Dana Pierce. Pierce is her maiden name, but she's always Dana Pierce to me. And she's like, well, let me see if I can make some handbags, which I was like, you're incredible. You're amazing. But as time goes on, obviously that was a lot. We needed 150 bags. So her and I were brainstorming and then it hit me. I was like, wait a minute. There's gotta be, it doesn't need to be this amazing bag that people are going to take home. It just needs to be something that can transport the kit. Give it to the person. There's all your stuff. And I totally think it was divine because I would have never thought of this. I'm like, what about those bags that you get clothes in? You order something online, like that plastic bag, it's sealed. You just rip it open. You're good. I looked on Amazon. I found them. They're the plastic see-through bags. They were big. I sent them over to Dana. She bought a pack of 200 and totally supported this whole project with the bags, which thank you. Love you. Dana Pierce, you're the best. So we had these bags and me and September would go down each side of the table and we would just grab. And I learned truly from the master that is September Hogan, which by the way, go listen to her episode. That was last week. She's my mother-in-law. Love her. She is a master lunch lady. I mean, she actually works in the district for cafeterias, but she has worked in a cafeteria as a lunch lady. And she was showing me, no, don't do it one at a time. You grab 2-3 bags and you hold them and she showed me how to pack them. And we whipped it out, you guys. It was so fast. And then we recruited Britton and his dad and they were watching football, but they would seal our bags after we filled them. They would just take the sticker off, fold it over and then put it away. It was great. it was such a great team effort, and I'm so thankful for them. But it was surreal. When I was just looking at all the items, I could not believe it that we had gotten all of them. You know, from what it felt like just a week ago, where I had maybe enough to make 20. And then I was looking at these boxes filled of items, and we did it. We had got not only 150, we had 169 complete kits and extras of different items, which I just put in these bags, and I just filled it. And I said, we don't donate those as well, in case, like in my case, I didn't need a whole kit. I just need one or two things. So we had those to have on hand, right? So next morning we go to the hospital, and I was able to go in and drop them off. We had to take 2 trips out for these kids, and I go and drop them off in the room, and the lady is so sweet. She was just blown away. The more I would bring in, I just made this huge pile, because it was like, she's like, we're going to make a pile on the floor. It sounds funny, but just do it. And I was like, okay. So as we were laying up, her eyes were just getting big, and she's like, I cannot believe you have this many kits. And you guys know when you're in the moment, you're just like, really? Like, are you sure? Is this a lot? I wish I could have had more, right? But she was so great. And at first I was like, are you just saying this? Are you just saying this because you have to, because someone's coming to donate? But she genuinely kept reassuring me, like, we have never had a donation like this, and we've never had a donation this big for adults. She kept reiterating that. And I got that, because obviously for kids, pediatrics, that makes sense. I knew that. I mean, Bo and Baker were both in the NICU. Baker was only in there for 3 days and got so many things that were donated, which was so great. It was so great that people take their time to make all these little things or donate these things for little NICU babies that you would not get at Target or anywhere else. But especially Bo. Bo was in there for 3 months. And it was just incredible to see everyone who's put into that. And I'm so grateful. 100%. But where she was saying, no one does this for adults, and I was able to help with that, that was like all I needed to hear. I was like, okay, good. It was, because again, you get that doubt. Anytime you're going to do something good, right? That doubt creeps in. Is this really worth it? Do they really need this? And just her reaction alone was like, yes. And she knows. And she told me she was going out of town after this, but she's like, I will be in touch with you, because I already know how impactful this is going to be in the mother and baby unit, which is who I was making it for. But I had let her know, look, if there's other units or anyone else in the hospital who needs it, please definitely send it their way. But I kept saying, if this is very helpful, I would definitely love to do this again. I already had some people ask, like, are you going to do this again next year? Which I'm so grateful that anyone would want to rally again behind me on this. But she very much said, oh, we'll be in touch. I will be speaking with the nurses. I will be getting feedback, but I have a feeling if you're willing, we can definitely use this. So yeah, it was awesome. She's also from the East Coast, and she made a comment. She's like, I am blown away of how kind and generous the West Coast is, particularly Utah. And I was like, well, there's reason for that. But yeah. So that was it. And it was an amazing feeling walking away. And even still now, as I'm thinking back, I can't believe it happened. It felt like just yesterday I was thinking about it, and now it's done. And yeah, if I get any more word on it, like how much more of an impact, I'm sure I will. I'll definitely let you know. But if it is, I would love to do it again. It was incredible. Alrighty. Well, so this is just, again, that call to you, to any of you who are feeling whatever need it is to bless anyone, to have an opportunity where you can support someone. Do it. Just do it. It's definitely going to come with doubt. It's going to come with other people's opinions, just do it anyway. I can't say any more than that. Just find the reason, hold on to that reason, and just move forward with it. All right, y'all. I am going to go get ready. I got to go get on a plane here in a couple hours. Feel free to watch the bowl game this weekend, Saturday night, and look for 87, Love him. So excited. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Oh, also, if you know of anything to do in Albuquerque, New Mexico, please message me. Munch and Mingle podcast Instagram. I've got some, I've definitely, again, McKenna Planner. I have looked up and I have researched a lot of things. But if I'm missing anything, definitely feel free to shoot me a message. Alrighty, y'all. Have a great day. I love you. I'm so grateful you're here. Again, also, thank you so much for helping me with this service project. It was amazing. And I will see you next week. Bye. Thank you.